those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion vlog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how to style, and now natural hair care. So if you are into any of those things, please consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So today's video is going to be a hair video. It's going to be a hair talk video. It's been a long time since we have done one of these. I think we are on episode, 12 or 13. Of course, the correct one will be in the title. But today we are going to talk about, this kind of this phenomenon with different techniques and products and things like that. So my message to you, today is just be careful. And we'll get into more of that. But if this is your first time at one of these hair talks, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. I like to keep these very casual. As you can see, my hair is wrapped up. I do have on statement earrings, but I have my medicine ball right there and some grapes. And I do have my sleeper pajama set, but I like to keep these very casual. Just so there's not, people don't feel like, you need to be dressed up or you need to be on your P's and Q's. Just relax. Put the kids to bed or just watch this whenever you have time. I like to keep them very casual. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so like I said, today we're just gonna, talk about products. And I guess I'm just trying to figure out a way to word this. Be careful with the products, the marketing, these systems and just processes or new systems or new trends that are being presented to you. I will give you two examples of a generalization, and then I will give you one specific example. And what I mean by that is the example I'm getting ready to give you, because it seems like when it comes to natural hair, it seems like when it comes to black hair, and it seems like when it comes to the black hair care community, y'all already know how I feel about stylists. It seems like they are trying to, because there are a lot of women who are going natural, and for the past couple of years, there has been this resurgence of, women going natural in the black community. And there's actually another video that I will do after this about how some people feel like we are regressing when it comes to that. And it seems like, hairdressers are trying to come up with, different ways to get women to come back into the hair salon, or to kind of, recoup some of the money that they have lost, because now women are choosing to go natural and do their hair at home. I think that's part of it. And I think, again, the other part is just people looking for different ways to not necessarily tame, but they're looking for different ways for Black women to have socially acceptable hair. Okay. So what I mean by be careful is, I will give you an example. I have no idea why this popped up on my feed. I have no idea why it was recommended to me. It was recommended to me in a short on YouTube. I'm not really sure why, because I don't watch those types of videos on YouTube. I watch hair videos, but not this type. It was a short. And as I was looking at the process and I saw the title of it, it was called a genie curl. Genie. And as I was looking at the entire process, as I was looking at her hair and the progression of the video, it was a Jerry curl. Simple as that. We all know, we've all seen Coming to America. We've all seen the videos. Was it the Soul Glow or whatever it is in Coming to America? We've all seen how someone's hair looks, a Black person's hair looks when they get a Jerry curl. I'm pretty sure you have a family member who had one. I'm pretty sure you have an older family member who might be trying to revive their hair from the Jerry curl. Okay. We all know the damage that the Jerry curl did to African American, Black, coarse, curly hair. Okay. I'm seeing it now. Like I said, I have no idea why this was recommended to me. So of course, when I watched it, other ones were popping up on my feed and they all looked the same as they did back in Coming to America. The rebranding of this being now called a genie curl instead of a Jerry curl is very manipulative, and it's really going to have the same effect. It's going to be the same damage. It might be newer products, newer compounds, newer chemicals, but it's still going to have the same damaging effect on your hair. That's why I'm saying, especially when you are going to a new hairstylist, be very careful with the products and services that they are recommending to you, okay? That's the first one. I can't find the video, so I can't post it down below, but this next one, I will just give you several examples. And before we go any further, I am not in the business of exposing anyone. I am going to mention a specific video that popped up on my feed, and then I just started watching the rest of them. But I'm not putting out her name. I'm not putting out her handle, anything like that. I will leave the videos down below, and you can watch them at your leisure. So another one that popped up on my feed, and this is new to me. When it comes to like the hairdresser world, the weaves, the wigs, the extensions, I am so far removed. So again, I'm not really sure why this one popped up on my feed, but it did. And it is being labeled as, or it is being marketed as a texture release, okay? I watched a couple of the videos on this one particular hairstylist shorts and on her videos. And they're trying to market it as a difference between a relaxer, then they have a texturizer, and then they have the texture release. And then somewhere in between the texturizer and the texture release is a keratin treatment. What they are saying, the difference between the keratin treatment and the texturizer with this newfangled thing about being a texture release, is that it uses different chemicals. The texturizer and some of the keratin treatments and the relaxers are like using damaging chemicals, like the formaldehydes and things like that. The texture release is using amino acids, which is supposed to be healthier and beneficial to the hair. I will say this, because I watched all of them, because I was actually intrigued, because what I noticed is that the actual, texture release or the release lotion was being used or being applied to the client's hair on wet hair. And I found that very interesting. I will say this on this one person's particular page. I will put this disclaimer out first. I don't know whether these clients are new clients that have been coming to her, or clients that maybe have had a mishap with another hairstylist and they are now coming to her. So I can't speak on that. But what I will say is this. I think she had about 20 shorts on here. I watched all of them. 90% of them was this texture release process. So 90% of them were that. And I would say maybe about 5% were just silk presses, your run-of-the-mill common silk press. And then the other 5% was just maybe like twist outs and relaxers. Of all of the texture release videos that I watched, and again, remember what I just said, the 3 scenarios. I don't know if these were people who were just coming to her. I don't know if these were regular clients. I don't know if these were women, whose hair, they had a mishap with another hairstylist and chose to come to her. Out of all of the videos that I watched when it came to the texture release, all of the women's hair looked the same. None of their hair was past their shoulders. If it was, you could see right through their ends, and all of it needed to be cut off. The hair was short, it was brittle, it was dry, and it just did not look healthy, okay? So I've done a little bit of research as far as the texture release is concerned, and it does seem a little more diluted than a relaxer and than a texturizer. But from all of the videos that I have seen, the women who have the texture releases, their hair state doesn't look any better than the woman who has the texturizer and the woman who has the relaxer. The other thing that I want to point out is when you're talking about the relaxer, the texturizer, and this new thing about texture release, I looked it up and I think it's Avalon. You have to be certified to do this texture release, which when it comes to cosmetology, you have to be certified to do the relaxer and to do the texturizer. And what I mean by that is if you walk into Sally's, not as a civilian, but like as a person who does not have a cosmetology license, you can't buy certain products, which means there are chemicals in there that you have to be certified to use. And from what I understand, you actually have to be certified to use this particular, it's called Avalon texture release. So that right there lets me know that someone who is a professional needs to be doing this service. But what it also lets me know that there are certain chemicals in this product or in this process or in this marketing that the regular person can't just use at home. And that's what I mean when I say be careful about the things that are being presented to you. Because again, here's the thing. I'm not a hairdresser, but if I had a client come to me and she says, listen, this is what I want. I want my hair to grow. I want it to be healthy. I want healthy ends, and I just want my hair to flourish. My first instinct would not be to her, hey, let's go ahead and try this process or this chemical process, because anytime you are altering the state of your curl pattern or the state of your hair without, the original silk press, like where you wash, blow dry, and then you use a flat iron, chemicals are involved. If you go from a 4C hairstyle or if you go from a 4C texture to your hair being completely straight and it stays like that for a while or permanently, there was chemicals involved in that, okay? And I need people to realize that, and actually when you're having these conversations with these hairstylists, just, maybe ask them to see the ingredients, maybe say, hey, let me do my research and come back. Because I will say in one of the shorts, she was giving a narrative and one of the clients came in wanting a silk press. But then within her narrative, she said that this person, once I introduced them to this or told them about it, they quickly changed their mind. Instead of just, giving her what she asked for, I'm not saying that you manipulated her. I'm not saying you coerced her, but she came in asking for a silk press and she left with something different. And I understand everybody needs to make money. I understand everybody has bills. And I understand that you might, want to push this new product that you just got certified for. I understand that. But again, looking at all of the videos or the shorts that were presented on this person's page, the hair did not look like it was in its best state. So, like I said, I'm bringing these two things to your attention. We all know about Jerry curls, but the way that it's being marketed now is the Genie curl. That's new to me. Like I said, it popped up on my feed, I think like 2 weeks ago. This texture release popped up on my feed. Today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening. This popped up on my feed Sunday night. And then of course I just went down the rabbit hole. I did a little bit of research. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is just be very careful with the things that are being presented to you. Now, if you are okay with the length of your hair, if you are okay with your ends, then by all means, try something new. I have no issues with that. But if you are someone looking to, have your hair flourish, have it grow, have healthy ends, these things that are being presented to you and you actually getting the service can be counterproductive to what it is that you are trying to do. And if you are a hairstylist, you can comment down below if I have misspoken. Please comment down below and correct me as far as the difference between the relaxer, the texturizer, and the texture release, okay? But a bulk of it is basically the texture release is using different chemicals that are supposed to be better for your hair. Also, if you are someone who is looking to, have a little bit more manageability of your hair, if you are looking to loosen your curl pattern in a natural way, it's messy, it takes a long time, you do have to do a couple of applications. What I would suggest to you is henna. It's all natural. There are so many benefits from it. Some naturals have reported that their curl pattern has loosened and some have not. I would say for me, when I was doing it, I did notice that my curl pattern was a little bit looser, okay? Now, I want to give you a specific example of what it is that I am talking about, okay? Okay, so now I want to give you a specific example as like what I mean when I say just be careful about the things that are being presented to you. something that you see on the internet from a hairdresser or from like your local beautician who does hair in the kitchen, okay? And I'm pretty sure by now a lot of you have heard about this, especially if you are in the natural hair community or if you make natural hair content. Diva Curl. And I have briefly mentioned this in a video prior to, but this is what I mean when I say be careful about what is being presented to you. So the way that Diva Curl was presented to me was, it was first just like a cut. You would go into a hair salon. It was called the Diva cut or the Diva Curl cut or whatever. You would actually, and you have to, and here's the other thing. Again, you had to be certified once the products came about. You had to be certified. Again, this was not a process or a system that you could just walk into on the street, or you could just walk in without a cosmetology license and just buy. You had to be certified. Like you had to take a course for it, from what I understand. Again, if I'm misspeaking as a hairstylist or someone who did Diva Curl, please correct me down below. And for me, that was like, when I first saw the whole situation, for me, that was the red flag. But let's backtrack. So first, it was called the Diva Curl cut. You would go into a specific hairstylist who was licensed or who had the certificate, and they would actually they would actually do everything they needed to do. They would wash your hair, they would detangle it, and then like they would actually shape your hair. It was known as like, I guess, a Diva cut. So like when you actually had your hair out in like your fro or in like your twist out, they would shape it. It was a Diva cut. And then the products were actually introduced. And like I said, when I was looking at the actual process, to me, it looked like they were applying chemicals. So there is now a lawsuit out because people are claiming that because they have been using Diva Curl products for a very long time, number one, their curl pattern has changed. A lot of women have said that they actually have no curl pattern. Their hair is just wispy, it's dry, it's not curling like it used to. But then women are also claiming that their hair is falling out. I did a little bit of research, and as far as the actual hair falling out and as far as the actual curl pattern changing, the reason why is because of, number one, the products or the ingredients that are actually in the Diva Curl. But also what we found out, or what people found out, is that Diva Curl was an entire system or a process where you actually had to go back in. I think it was like every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, or like every month to re-get the product or the system done to your hair. Diva Curl was not cheap. I think they said like a small ounce or like a small bottle was like $26. So what was happening is that hairstylists for particular clients who were not able to afford or who didn't want to pay that expensive fee every month or every 2 weeks or so, they were actually sending their clients home with the products. Now, remember, you heard me earlier say that there are certain products in Sally's that you cannot purchase without a cosmetology license, because again, you are dealing with chemicals that the average person should not be dealing with if they have not had the education for it. There were hairstylists that were sending their clients home with the professional care products, and they would teach them, say, hey, this is how you do it at home. I can't speak for all of them because I never, and as a matter of fact, by the time this had come up to me, the lawsuit or the actual claims of their hair falling out had already been out there. So they were actually sending some of their clients home who didn't want to pay or who couldn't afford to pay, but still wanted the same results. They were sending their clients home with the products, and more than likely, they probably were not using them correctly. I'm not saying that all of them did that, but some of them did. The ones who said that they were not doing that, they said that the commercial side of the products, or someone who does not have a cosmetology licensed products, the ones that they were using at home did the exact same thing. So that's why I'm saying to you, just be careful with the things that are being presented to you. Like I said, whether it be a new product that pops up on TikTok, Instagram, in this society that we're living in, TikTok has, things going viral every single day, and people are, jumping on bandwagons and things are selling out. All I am saying to you is, if you are looking for your hair to be healthy, if you are looking for your hair to thrive, or just really looking for your hair to just, maintain its health, just be careful with the things that are being presented to you, whether it be, again, from TikTok, whether it be from a hairstylist, whether it be, another hair guru. Just be very diligent about the things that are being presented to you, because it might be detrimental to the goals that you have for your hair. Okay. Let me know what you think about all of these things in the comments. As I said before, I really appreciate you guys keeping the comments respectful when it comes to these hair talks. And again, I am not a hairstylist. I've cut hair before. I did not go for my barbering license. If you don't know, my father does own a barber college and a barber shop. There are some chemicals and things that we use, and in order for you to pass your barber's license exam or get your exam, get your license, you do have to have some knowledge of some chemicals. And just me being around it all my life, I can tell, and that's why when I saw the Diva Curl process, it was a no for me. I don't have a cosmetology license, but I can tell when there are chemicals being used on someone's hair just with my barbering background, okay? But if I have, like I said, if I have misspoken and you are a hairstylist or you use the Diva Curl, in the comments, please correct me. I want this to be a community where we can disagree, where we can give out correct information, but still be respectful, okay? All I'm saying is just be careful with the things that you are putting in your hair, okay? I just want to remind you that here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And of course, right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, you guys. Bye.